Welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. Today we take a look at Transformers Robots in Disguise Warrior Class WINDBLADE. This is the newer release with the battle mask, and this is a really cool looking figure. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing camera reversed, table, turn on some lights, maybe pop some popcorn, and take a closer look at RiD WINDBLADE. And there she is, and she looks great. Now, let me tell you, full disclosure here, this is the first WINDBLADE that I've ever purchased, so I don't have any of the others. I didn't get the first generations. I did not get the prior RiD release that didn't have the battle mask. And the new one, the Titans Return, Titans Return, because they're coming back. So silly. Anyway, I don't have that one. So this is my first one, and I have to say, without anything to compare it to, I walk away very impressed with this figure. Let's take a closer look. Now, the one thing you'll notice right away is how terrible the face paint is on this particular figure. It's scratched. I haven't done anything to it. I barely touched the figure at all. But it's not good paint. Now, I got this one online, and shame on me, I couldn't pick to see what it looked like. So if you're seeing this figure in the stores, what my recommendation would be to you is to look real closely at that face paint, because that's kind of unforgivable. I mean, that kind of ruins it for me. It's fine from a distance. Honestly, I didn't even really notice it until I got really up close in the camera. But yeah, not good. And for you OCD people, the Autobot symbol is crooked. Oh my goodness, this is just terrible. But the figure itself, I do really like. Let's take a closer look at some other parts of it. There's her wing. She has spinny things, the jet deals that I don't think spin. You know, they're just kind of pegged in there. Mine are too tight. I do have a terrible cut on my thumb, which I just noticed. So if I don't survive by the end of this video, someone please call a doctor. Again, there's the spinny blades, and this flips around. You can actually put it either way. So yeah, when you're holding it in or displaying it in robot mode, you can display it. If you like the red like that, you can leave it. Or if you want to flip it around to the blades themselves, then you can do that. Other details on the figure, you've got really nice paint that doesn't seem to be as chipped here on the yellow front, blue abdomen, and silver around the sides. The battle mask itself, as you saw up close earlier, you got the black and the white mask and the kind of yellow bit that's scraped on mine, blue eyes, and the blue fan in the back of her head, which actually does detach. So you can pull this out, and she can hold this like a weapon, which is ridiculous because it's just silly. So put it back on. Don't know if it's supposed to do that for playability or if they just packed it that way so it wouldn't be broken. I don't know. Anyway, since this is the second time we've gotten this particular mold, the joints are all nice and tight, so no mold degradation yet. The waist, you do have a swivel in the waist, which is very cool. You also have a ball joint under the arms. You have a swivel at the forearm, a hinge at the elbow. There's no wrist movement. You have a ball joint here, and then you also have the swivel inside of the leg, and the knee bend as well. And you can get even more of a knee bend due to transformation. It looks kind of funky like that, but you could do that if you wanted to get some crazy poses out of your figure. Rest of the paint, again, yellow on the shins or the kneecaps, and then some silver here, silver in the wings. There's the back. There is a giant nose cone backpack, but again, in person, it doesn't really look that bad, so I don't really mind it. So that's WINDBLADE in her robot mode. I think it's stellar, looks really nice. Disappointed that I've got paint issues on my particular copy, but I'm quite confident that if you look very closely at yours in the stores, then you should be okay. Let's transform. Oh, I almost forgot about the weapon. She does have an awesome weapon, and this actually pegs into her hip right here. So you can put that like that, and then do some pretty dramatic posing like she's going to pull this out of her holster there. So you see what I mean? That's kind of cool. I think that looks really, really good. Now, it's not just a sword in holster. You could use it like a gun. So she can hold it with her hand like that. It's got a little scope on the top. Very cool. So you could use it that way. This also pulls out. How freaking cool is this? to become WINDBLADE's samurai sword. Very cool, and you even got the little blade inside, or the little spinny blade deal like her wings on the inside of the sword. So good detail, no paint. It's just that kind of black plastic, but fine for what it is, as long as you don't, you know, complain too much about everything. I'm talking to you. You know who I'm talking to. Right now you're all saying, is he talking to me? I could be, but probably not. So anyway, that's the weapon. Let's go ahead and get WINDBLADE transformed into her jet mode, and we'll see if the awesomeness carries over into her jet. So what we want to do first of all is you want to come around to the giant backpack, and you want to lift this piece up right here. Just makes it easy to put around the head and keep from scraping the face, which, oh, that didn't really work for mine, did it? Because it's already scraped. I'm so mad about this. I'll be fine. So then go ahead and close it up. All right, and you're good there. Then you want to come into the feet, and you want to bend her ankles, not her ankles, you want to bend her feet all the way down, and then you get jet dealio bob coming up there. So 2 jet dealio bobs. That's the official term for that. At this point, you want to come in and give it a good old-fashioned Combiner Wars leg lift. Very popular amongst the Combiner Wars toys. I know that's not what we're dealing with here, but it's the same kind of thing. Just bear with me. And then just kind of make sure that that's straight. Make sure the waist, or the waist swivel, is straight as well. All right, and then actually before we do that, you want to spin the waist around. Do that first. Then you can come around like this. I'm from Georgia, that's how we talk. Come around. I'm so sorry. You want to come around like this and pinch it together. All right, then you want to come around to the hands, and you want to peg them. See, there's a little hole, peg slot right there, and there's a peg deal right there. You want to just get those together and fit it into the slot like that. Kind of straighten everything out. And you see how on my figure there's like a lot of red plastic here and not a lot of red here. You want to just go back around and make sure that the waist and the legs are all straight before you tab everything together. Otherwise, it's not going to fit quite right. So I'm going to do that off camera. All right, so it's about even enough. Then we're going to come around to the back, kind of straighten out the wings. You're going to take this piece, and it's on a dual hinge. So you're going to go ahead and bring this all the way around like that. And then you've got on this side a couple of places for it to slot in, and just kind of make sure that it's fits into the grooves in the back of the jet. And then straighten out the wings. Go ahead and flip her jets if you want to. Again, you don't have to. This is a preference. I like to see them from the top when I'm in jet mode. So, oh, and then the top bit right here fits into the shoulders. And so if they're not sitting into the shoulders, you want to go ahead and just fit it in there like this. And just give it the old squeeze. Make sure that everything's nice and tight. And landing gear. You can bring the landing gear down now as well. All right, you can do it like that. Or you can bring it all the way forward if you want to hook her sword underneath. And you'll notice on the bottom of the figure, there's a spot right there with a groove. And if you don't get everything all even, they're crooked. I actually think my figure might be a bit crooked. But anyway, there's the slots on the bottom of that. And so you can fit that in, and you've got room in the front because you push the landing gear forward. If you're not going to do that, then you can push the landing gear back to that position, and it kind of fits into the slot right there. And so there you have WINDBLADE in her jet mode. A not perfect jet mode, but let's take a closer look. From the top down, she looks cool, like kind of neat, right? Except that hand that's exposed right there. As you come around to the side view, that hand just, oh, you couldn't figure anything else out to do with that hand. Apparently not, is the answer to that. Here's the jet all the way around. Again, like the front half looks really cool. The back of the plane is a bit messy, really just because of those hands. I just wish that there was something else that could have been done because, I mean, it looks like she's playing hide and seek. And of course, we see you, Windblade. We see you. Peekaboo. You can lift this up if you want to get the full peekaboo effect. I mean, come on, that's basically the whole robot. I mean, like, hey, I'm a jet. Transform. Hey, how's it going? What's happening? My people. My peeps. I'm going to become a jet again. I mean, come on. Hasbro. Now, I know that this is Warrior Class, but there have been some great Warrior Class figures in the RiD line. Soundwave was really good. He had hand syndrome, too. Bisque was great. There have been a lot of characters that have come across pretty well, but yeah, I'm just not feeling this. So anyway, that's her in jet mode. To take a closer look at the details, nice blue paint in the front of the cockpit. Cockpit does not open. Again, it's just paint. This is not Titan's Returns. Titan's Return. I always get that screwed up, but it's not that, so you're not going to put any figure in there. Nice glossy black. Kind of a matte, a little bit glossy black on the wing, but it doesn't mesh too poorly, I suppose. Black here, the yellow from the legs kind of come up. You've got the silver there. The wings do look really nice. I do like the wings. Underneath, again, you have almost a complete robot ready to transform and do things. Cool in plastic molding. I forgot to mention that underneath the wings. So decent amount of detail in the figure, but again, overall, just not feeling the jet. So that's my review of the Robots in Disguise Windblade. If you're a fan of Windblade and don't mind leaving her in robot mode or putting her on your shelf facing you like that, then cool, do it. It's a good figure, but the hands underneath kind of ruin it for me. That's just me. Maybe, you feel differently about it. I like the figure a lot in robot mode. The sword with the figure looks great. There's a lot of cool posing you can do with this figure. Overall, I recommend it with reservations. Thank you for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as you can tell, I'm coming back. And because I took so much time off, I need your help. Please spread the good word. I'm all over the place. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I've got a Facebook group. You can come join me and talk about Transformers and anything else all day long. And talk about me if you want to pass the good word in forums, in the grocery store, at your mom's house, whatever. Just talk about eBEFOREi video reviews. Hit subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And that's enough shilling for today. So thanks again. We'll see you back here again real soon.